It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Los Angeles Rams football operations Markel Leonard. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to work in professional sports?
Well, since being a young kid from Richmond, California, I always knew I wanted to be a professional basketball player. And then, I didn't grow to 6'5", so uh, I figured the best way to continue my dream of getting to the NBA or NFL was to work on the administrative, on the business side. So I did everything that I could to get to where I am, and here I am.
What was your time like at Lewis and Clark College as the sports marketing intern?
It was great. I was playing basketball there at Lewis and Clark in Portland, and I had to try to find some experience to get because when you're an athlete, you you're spending all the time in the gym and study hall or in the weight room. So in the off season or in the summer times, I had to find something. And our sports marketing group there at Lewis and Clark was gracious enough to give me an opportunity.
What was it like working as the recruitment coordinator and compliance officer?
It was great. I mean, I got to learn a different sport, how different sports recruits. I had to learn a lot about the NCAA rules and regulations on what a Division III school can and can't do. And I got to know some of the football coaches there as well. So it was fun. It was a great experience because I didn't really have much background in football, but to be able to learn the rules and regulations on how to function a football team from an administrative side was great.
What was it like working with the NCAA?
Oh, it was the best. I had a really great opportunity coming out of grad school to work at the NCAA doing the March Madness tournament. Unfortunately, it got canceled the year that I was there due to the coronavirus, but I was able to learn a lot from Joanne Scott and Dan Gavin.
Can you talk about, of course, what you did for the NCAA?
Yeah, so I was the men's basketball championship intern. So a lot of that was doing a lot of the behind the scenes work and logistics to make the tournament come to life. Obviously, the teams get selected, but there's a lot that goes into it before the teams even get selected on Selection Sunday. Where do these banners go, and what referees will ref, and flying out to Atlanta every month for logistical meetings on the marketing. What's marketing going to do? What's community relations going to do? What hotels are we going to stay at? What bus company are we going to use? So a lot of the things we were doing there. What ancillary events will be running? Who's running them? Who's a sponsor? And find out, trying to dig into the more logistical things for there, so the event can run in totality come March and April.
Can you talk about, of course, what it was like working with the Fiesta Bowl?
Yeah, I love the Fiesta Bowl. They have great people there. I was kind of a low man on the totem pole there, just doing a seasonal ticket operations job, but I learned a lot about what goes into ticketing and how hard it is and how much of a grind it can be, especially when you have a New Year's Six game when two top Power Five teams are coming to town. So it was a really good experience for me.
What was it like working with the LPGA tournament?
It was fun. Another different type of experience for me because I didn't come from golf. I never golfed a day in my life until then. So it was a great experience. It was a part of a class that I was taking for grad school called Big Events. So I just dove right in and worked as hard as I could at the things I needed to work at, and went from there. Just got some good experience in 3 or 4 months.
What was it like to get the job with Arizona Cardinals as the premier guest service?
It was good. I mean, that was like my first real kind of job. It was seasonal as well, but I would go there I would go to the practice facilities on Saturday to prepare for Sunday's game, whether that's taking numbers in an Excel sheet on who's going to be in this suite, who's going to be in that suite. or I was, doing mailbox runs for our executive team. I was again kind of the lowest on the totem pole type of job, but it was the steps that I need to take to get to where I'm trying to go in my career.
What were some of your fondest memories while working with Arizona Cardinals as the guest premier?
I was able to meet the COO at the time kind of organically. Funny story was I met his like fiance girlfriend while she was in the area that I was in charge of as the premium guest service uh, representative. And I got into a nice little conversation with her, and she asked me, where are you from? What do you want to do? And I told her, what my dreams were and what I want to be. And I mentioned her boyfriend or her husband at the time, and I didn't know that they were in a relationship. I was like, hey, I want to be very similar to Ron Miniger. And she just started laughing, saying, what do you know about Ron? And I started listing all of these accomplishments he's done, and I started telling her verbatim, his career path to how he became the COO. And before I knew it, Ron was standing right there, and we built a relationship. After that, still to this day, I talk to Ron probably quarterly.
That's so amazing. What was it like to get the job with the Los Angeles Rams as the football operations?
Oh, it was good. Just another step in my career in the right direction. Um, it was a blessing to be able to receive a job offer during a global pandemic, and it's been fun. I'm still here. Hopefully, I can be here for a little bit longer, but it's been great.
What is a day in the life of a football operations person on the NFL level?
I think it depends. I think it depends on what time of the season it is. So during the season, a lot of it is getting the logistics together as far as like, okay, what bus company are we going to use? What time are we going to fly in and out of the opposing cities? What hotels are we going to stay at? What moving company are we going to use? That's kind of the day in the life, is a lot of planning and scheduling the logistics around the game. So the coaches, executives, and players don't have anything to worry about besides winning the game. In the off season, we kind of transition more into draft logistics, helping our scouts with the drafting guys as far as like, okay, we drafted this guy in the second or third round. When can we get him out here for physicals and for the rookie mini camp and things like that? So we do all the scheduling around that. Typically, we would also be working for, doing logistics for the NFL Combine, but we didn't do that this year due to the virus. And also, we prepare training camp. We get all the logistical information about training camp from all the different departments that collaborate with us on making training camp come to life.
What is the preparation of getting training camp together and, of course, the draft combine?
I don't know too much about how to prepare for the draft combine because I didn't do it, and this is my first year with the Rams. But typically, once we draft a guy, we'll try to bring them in for physicals. They do the rookie mini camp and things like that. Before the draft, we do a lot of like top 30 visits where, the top 30 guys on our draft board come in and kind of like do a job interview and with our scouts, and we go from there. As far as training camp goes, we work cross functionally with a lot of different departments: community relations, marketing, corporate sponsorships, on a lot of different initiatives that they want to put into training camp. So some maybe the first day of training camps like Rams Rush Day, and we have like all the different sponsors around the camp, and we try to put tents up here and there to make sure fans have shade and make sure parking is going correctly, make sure a lot of different parking lots are attended to and things like that. It's just a lot of planning and putting the pieces together.
Of course, with all that planning and putting pieces together, what is it like on game day?
I only know one type of game day, and that's the pandemic game day. So I'm looking forward to having fans in the building and get the real experience of working in the NFL. This year was a little bit more easier because there were no fans this year. So we would kind of just fly in Saturday evening. We'll have our meetings. The guys will eat, they'll go to sleep, we'll wake up, we'll bust the guys and coaches over in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on time of the game. We play the game and we get out of there. So it wasn't very much to it this year.
Of course, with football operations, do you work a lot with the equipment manager and making sure all the equipment and uniforms are game ready?
We do. We're very aligned with the equipment team, especially when it comes to working with moving companies, because the equipment team and us, we kind of do all that as far as, okay, the equipment's coming at this time, um, loading it in, and then we especially work with them on loading out when we're trying to get on a plane and go home because the plane doesn't leave without the equipment. So we work with them, I'd say, every game.
Of course, with preparing for a game, do you have to fly the day before, like 3 days before the actual game, if it's a away game?
For me, yeah, and we usually leave uh, Thursday morning because I'm a part of the advanced team for our club, and it's myself and another gentleman in football operations, and we fly, 2 or 3 days before the game to make sure everything logistically makes sense and is in order out there at the hotel, at the airport, and at the opposing team stadium. So yeah, we do fly out. I fly out there at least 2 or 3 days before, but the team doesn't fly out until the day before the game.
What is something that you learned now that you didn't know before working in football operations on the NFL level?
I think I learned how NFL clubs are ran. I think I learned the importance of collaboration. I learned the importance of when you receive an assignment, try to make it better than it was when you got it. Those are some things that I've learned so far.
What is something that you would advise somebody that is looking to get into football operations, either on the college level or professional level?
Try to get some work into your athletic department as soon as you can at the college that you're attending. That's really how you get some really good experience early on. That's something that I wish I would have done when I was in college was try to figure out, okay, this is what I want to do. What steps do I need to take instead of, trying to be the world's greatest basketball player.
What do you advise somebody that's now in the NFL working in the football operations side?
There's some advice I would give.
Yes.
Um, Try to get in as early as possible in some type of logistical role, because that's all football is planning and logistics. That's all football operations is. So it doesn't have to be with the team. It could be for a bowl game, or it could be, on campus. It can be for an agency or anything. It could be for another company that doesn't even involve sports. But if you have a logistical or planning type of role before, you're already ahead of the game.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
They could find me on Instagram at Kel_Leonard and on Twitter at Kel_Leonard0.
Thank you again, Markel Leonard, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the Los Angeles Rams as the football operations.
Appreciate you, Brandon.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Marquette, for your interview, and best of luck.
Appreciate you, brother.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.